Hi friends, and welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Lori Albert. My name is Lori Albert, and I am a medium and intuitive. Spiritually Speaking is a feel-good, intuitive, interactive spiritual conversation that embraces everything spiritual. Each week we discuss different spiritual or life topics. I have occasional guests, and I take your calls on the spirit line for viewers to be part of the conversation, or if you'd like to receive a reading. So welcome to the show, my friends. I hope everybody's having a great day so far. I'm so tired of not doing the show, so I'm good. I am not traveling forever. Well, you know what I mean. I'm not traveling for quite a long time now, so I'm going to be every week, and we're going to be here, and we're going to be talking about all things spiritual. So welcome back to the show. I'm so happy to be here. It just doesn't feel right when I just don't do the show. It doesn't feel right. So I'm happy to be back. So anyway, I have so much to share. Do you guys like my hat? You know, when you walk into a store, you see something and you think, that's for me. This was my hat. I was at a conference and it was like, I love that hat. So I get excited about the silliest little things, but you know how it goes. So anyway, so that's my story. I happened to be in, last week I happened to be in visiting my family near Pittsburgh, and I just had to share this story with you guys. My sister and I decided, well actually my aunt is the one that, it was her idea. We decided to surprise my mother, and my aunt lives about 4 hours away. So we met in the middle, and we surprised my mother with this visit, right? And I had so much fun in those few short hours that we were together. I had so much fun, and I got so aware and so present to unconditional love and what that is. And again, I always go back and I always say this. I used to have a friend a long time ago that she said, I've never experienced unconditional love. And it just broke my heart. So I say that because I'm so curious. I'm so curious as to how that's even possible, to be honest with you. So I got so present to unconditional love. My family just loves me no matter what. They don't necessarily agree with or can relate to what it is I do, but they love me anyway. And oh my God, I just love that. So thank you for that to my family, whether they're watching or not, right? So I got so present to that, and I'm so lucky. So anyway, so in the last 2 weeks, I have had so many people asking me the same questions about what is it, how do I know if I'm psychic or intuitive or a medium? How do I know, and what do I do? And so, I decided, and there was, in the last 2 weeks, since I didn't do a show last week, in the last 2 weeks, this happened. I mean, I got bombarded with that. And so I knew that I needed to go back to the basics with you guys. I've done other shows about what to do if you're a medium and that sort of thing, but I thought I was going to approach it a little bit differently today, because what I want to talk about is sort of the getting to the nitty-gritty, the down and dirty questions, right? So I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but I wanted to just catch you guys up to speed with everything. So I hope Mercury is no longer in retrograde, folks. Are we happy about that? Yes, we are. So yeah, it's been a rough one, I think, personally. For me, I feel like it's been a rough one. So what I wanted to discuss this with you is, did you survive? Of course we did. We all survive, right? Communication should be getting back to normal. Road rage, although that continues on all the time, that should be kind of subsiding a little bit. People driving, kind of the patience, it should be easier to have a little bit more patience and that sort of thing. So I just really hope that you all, and up until like next week, Things will still be a little bit squirrely, but we will be back. And you know what? I've had all of these tech issues with my computer. Those seem to be disappearing. However, and the reason why I'm hemming and hawing is because you guys know I do this by myself, right? I'm trying so hard to figure out how to get your messages. You know, when you're on Facebook and you want to text a message, I'm trying so hard to figure out how to do that. And I'm looking on my computer now. I have 3 comments and I don't have any on this thing. So I promise I'm going to get that figured out. Promise. I do. Okay, so I've got 3 comments and I'm just going to look at them here. So I've got, oh, Karen. Okay, she said she survived. She survived retrograde, Mercury being retrograde. Yay, good for you, Karen. And Rhonda, I have a dear old cousin that I haven't seen in a long time, Rhonda Miller. I wonder if this is you. But at any rate, that would be funny, right? Wow. So at any rate, hi Rhonda, thanks for joining me. And okay, so, and you know what? The reason why I'm trying to figure out how to do it online here is because I can't see. I have my glasses here and I'm doing this, you know, like right up against the thing. My eyesight is terrible. I know. My husband and I keep saying we have to go to the eye doctor and get tests done or whatever, because I'm sure I need glasses better than reading glasses. Anyway, okay. So I want to get past that because I love Christopher Renstrom. You guys know that. I always talk about him and I read his horoscope for the week. However, this week I want to mix it up a little bit. There is this girl that I have been following for a long time, it seems like. Her name is Zoe, and it's planetnewsbyzoe.com. Zoe is Z-O-E. And her horoscope for this week, for everybody, general horoscope, has just knocked my socks off. And unfortunately, it's really long, but I condensed it down a little bit. And I'm going to tell you, if you like this, you should go to either her website or her Facebook page, which is at Planet News by Zoe, you know, kind of thing. So, but I really wanted to read this to you. This is incredible because, yeah, it's pretty incredible what's been going on. Okay, so for this week, April 23rd through the 29th. Get ready for another intensely powerful week ahead. With Saturn and Pluto retrograde, we know what that means. It appears that they're going backwards, so other things happen, right? Okay. So with Saturn and Pluto retrograde, we're moving deep into our current reality to unearth the hidden potential for transformation and new possibilities. Yes! So excited about that. As our attention goes into the density of our current identities, forms, and structures, we're remembering the infinite potential and sacredness that live in the empty spaces of all things. Through our consciousness, we are birthing the resurrection of spirit into our daily, ordinary life, which upgrades all of our structures to a higher universal laws, giving brand new meaning to life on earth. Oh, it's so beautiful. We are in the unveiling process of heaven on earth. Ah, love this. It's important. Here's the paragraph that like really struck me. You guys, and you need to go read the rest of this afterwards. I just didn't want to take too much time, but oh my gosh. Okay. It's important to remember that transformation occurs in a rapid, unpredictable environment that can feel like chaos. The status quo of any structure, belief, or paradigm must be interrupted so that a new possibility can be accessed and integrated. If we continue to operate in a comfortable, steady pace, nothing changes. And there is nothing new to calibrate. I want to reread that because that's pretty darn powerful, okay? If we continue to operate in a comfortable, steady pace, kind of the status quo, the routines, okay, nothing changes, and there is nothing new to calibrate. Or better stated, the calibration to a higher frequency will by nature disrupt and interfere with the current energy patterns, causing temporary disruption until the higher frequency takes root. Oh, that's so exciting. And if you guys follow that, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. The activation of a higher frequency will instantly shift and recalibrate the whole system, interrupting any normal or stuck holding patterns. I am in such a holding pattern. I am super excited to hear this. And elevating holistically to a new frequency. Everything shifts through this process. That temporary disrupt can feel like chaos and uncertainty. However, it's the necessary catalyst that births change. Seriously, you guys, this is the beginning. I mean, I am super excited. I'm not, and again, I'm not an astrologer at all. I don't quite understand how it all is figured out. I would love to take a class, like a basic class, and I probably will, but I do know that when certain planets go into retrograde, it becomes like change happens, right? So I am so excited about this. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like lately I've been in a rut, and it's not just my physicalness feeling like I'm in a rut. It's a feeling like my life is in a rut, like spiritually in a rut. Like I do the same things, I do readings, I do this, and I have to tell you, I am taking on manifesting. And that's going to be part of my gratitude challenge, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I am taking on manifesting big things. I am good at manifesting parking spaces and, just like traffic getting out of the way so I can get to my appointment or whatever I'm doing on time, that sort of thing. I'm really good at that. So there you go. But I'm not that great at manifesting things that, not that great at manifesting things that are larger than that. Although I will say I did manifest my car, my beloved car that I love, my Mustang. Love my Mustang. I should show you guys a picture of that someday because it is just awesome. I manifested that. I envisioned it. So that is kind of big actually. But there are other things. I've sort of gotten back into the sitting there quietly thing, right? But now I'm ready to take it on. So at any rate, and I love what Zoe said. So planetnewsbyzoe.com. On Facebook, it's at Planet News by Zoe. So if you want to check her out and go to the page, I just think it's fantastic. So anyway, so one other thing I wanted to tell you before I talk about the gratitude challenges is that something else really cool happened to me this week. Okay, so I may have mentioned this before, but I am not the best flyer. Okay, and when I say flyer, I mean like airplane flying, right? I'm okay. I'm fine once we're up, and as long as we have no not really bad turbulence, I'm fine, right? But if we start having some like moderate turbulence, my body starts I get like, oh my gosh, I get crazy. As everybody gets a little nervous because it's out of our control, right? So we have to put a lot of trust into our pilots, our captains, right? So at any rate, I get on the plane. I'm traveling alone. I get on this plane to come back home, and I'm exhausted, first of all, because it was a really busy week. And they had said, and I had known we were going to go through some weather because, yes, I get on weather.com before the flight, and I start figuring it out, right? So figuring out where the weather is so I can expect turbulence. So I just know. I just need to go into it knowing, right? So I decided, okay, I'm going to put on some like music. I'm going to listen to music, right? So I decided to put on this version of the Gayatri mantra, okay? And the Gayatri mantra is a Hindu mantra, and it's several lines long, okay? And basically, it is. How can I explain? It is. It's kind of a praise to God. It's a praise to God, basically. I'm not going to get into the whole big thing of it, and I know those of you that practice the Gayatri mantra, I apologize because I'm doing it injustice, because it's about prayer, it's about adoration, it's about it's just love, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful prayer. Anyway, so it's in Sanskrit, so whatever. So I put this on, and oh my God, I was like, it was fine. I was absolutely fine. My heart wasn't racing. I was just sitting there. My palms weren't sweaty, because you know how your palms get sweaty? My palms weren't sweaty. I felt so at ease. And, you know, I should do, and I could do, an entire show on the Gayatri the Gayatri mantra, because it's so powerful. It is so powerful. And if you guys are familiar with the Buddhist chant, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, if you continue chanting it, it creates sort of a vibration, right? And I think that this mantra does the same thing, same sort of situation. Oh my gosh, it was so incredible, so incredible. So at any rate, I was just so excited about that. So I will, on an upcoming show, talk about the Gayatri yoga mantra. I keep saying yoga, but the Gayatri mantra. So it was just really fantastic. So yeah, so I just had to share because I felt like victory. You know, it felt good. So okay, so before I get into all the thousands of questions that, not thousands, but all of the questions that I got to this week, and I got a ton, and I hope I can get to them all about how to, you know, start your practice and develop your gifts if you have gifts and that sort of thing. So how you can figure out if you have gifts. I want to, this week and next week are the final weeks of the gratitude challenge. So I hope everybody has been doing good with it, right? Mercury is out of retrograde. We're still hitting into that little bit of bumpy, that little bit of turbulence in our lives. But next week we will be good. So next week is the final day of the gratitude challenge, the final week of the gratitude challenge. As a matter of fact, I want to tell you right now, I'm going to have fellow medium and friend and psychic. She is fantastic. Her name is Cheryl Murphy. She's going to be on the show next week. She was on a while ago, right when I first started doing the show, a long time ago. So she's going to be here with me next week, here in the studio. Super excited. We're going to be taking your calls, giving readings and that sort of thing. But at any rate, last week of the gratitude challenge. Okay, so have you all been saying thank you as soon as you wake up in the morning? Those Post-it notes should be stopping to stick now. It should be getting to be habit forming, right? Should be getting to be habit forming, okay? Saying thank you, right? The second you get out of bed, okay? And then doing at least 3, writing down in a journal, writing down at least 3 things that you are thankful for a day, different from the day before. Okay? Oh, I gotta make sure that I'm okay here. Sorry. So different from the day before, and write down those 3 things. Okay, daily. Okay, should be getting to a good habit by now, right? Then, well, and the other things that, you know, saying thank you and smiling and all of that stuff, I'll let that go, right? But I want you to continue to say thank you as soon as you wake up, and I want you to continue to say, write down or at least verbalize 3 things that you're grateful for. Okay, so that's the most important thing. This week is going to be the challenge for this week. I want to talk about empathy, okay, and compassion. Okay, so at least once a day, here's the challenge. And this isn't simple stuff, right? This can be a little bit challenging, and hence challenge, right? So this week, I want to practice empathy. Okay, so at least once a day, I want you to try really hard to catch yourself in judgment of something or a person. Okay, catch yourself. Like when you see somebody whose hair doesn't look quite right, you kind of go, whoa, look at that person's hair. Catch yourself and go, whoa, okay? And instead of judging, what I want you to try to do is put yourself in that person's place, okay? Or like if you see something that, if you like see like a billboard that is against your view about something, whether it's spiritual, political, whatever. If you see a billboard or you see, here's something that's against your judgment, it's against your point of view, and you see that, don't judge whoever put it up, right? Put yourself in their shoes just for a minute, okay? And I gotta say, this is a good challenge for us, right? Because if we start looking at our lives and looking at things from the other perspective, you start to understand why you think the way you do and how much you appreciate your own self. I hope that makes sense, because that's kind of powerful. That can be really powerful. So consider what the other person might be feeling or thinking or their motivation for whatever, okay? Yeah, that's pretty difficult. It can be difficult, okay? However, you can do it. I know you can. I know you can do it. It's not that difficult. I promise you it's not that difficult. You know, once you get into the habit of that, it can become a really life-changing thing for you, okay? So once a day, just catch yourself. And you know what? Here's the thing. Don't make yourself wrong for judging somebody else. We all do it all day long, right? We judge everything. I guarantee you guys are judging my cup right now. What does she have in that cup? There's not vodka in there, is there? Right? There's not vodka in there, it's tea, promise. But what I'm saying is that, you know, we all judge everything all the time. And that's okay. That's actually okay to judge. However, what you want to catch, like I said, catch yourself judging in like the negative way and put yourself in that person's shoes. Okay? So that is all I'm going to say about that. Good luck. Message me. Oh my gosh, message me or comment on this, comment on what the tasks I'm giving you here. And I would love to see, I'm trying to see if you guys are, I'm trying to see anything that you might be commenting on. I'm so not good at this. I'm so not good at this, and I can't see a blessed thing, so whatever. Anyway, so okay. I'm not going to do a meditation this week, okay? Because I'm going to talk about meditation, and I'm going to give you guys some ideas about meditation in a little while, okay? Okay, so here are some of the questions I get, right? And you know what? It's so funny because I get them ongoingly. I get the questions ongoingly a lot. However, I never really get to answer them in a profound way, I guess you could say, in a way that would make sense to you guys, okay? If you think you have gifts, psychic, or if you think you're a medium, or if you're intuitive is basically psychic. So do you have questions about that? Are you unsure about what it is that you're doing and how to do it? And have I done, well, let me tell you my little story real fast before I get into it, okay? I have had odd things happening to me my entire life, okay? Literally my entire life. I remember when I was young, I had some strange things going on, and I'm not going to get into what they are because they're kind of personal, but I wasn't sure what was happening, and I was too, yes, if you can believe it, I was too shy to discuss it, to ask anybody else, okay, about what might be going on or whatever, right? And then later on, because I was brought up Catholic, I wasn't supposed to, I started learning, okay, I'm not supposed to, things aren't supposed to be happening like that. So I need to just, okay, you know, I wasn't sure if I was crazy. I wasn't sure. I really didn't think I was crazy, but I knew that it was frowned upon, let's just say, okay? So I just went through my life. And then I got into my college years, and I had some more things start to happen with the Holy Spirit, and yeah, and it was pretty profound. That was an amazing experience, right? So, long story short, over the course of time, I started, you know, just kind of going about my life and just kind of, not blow it off, but just sort of say, okay, well, whatever, kind of thing. Well, about 20 years ago, I started meditating, and I got really into it. I started meditating every day, and I got really good at, yes, and because I know it's hard to do, I got really pretty good at clearing my mind, right? And I only did it for 10 minutes a day or whatever, and then all of a sudden I started seeing blobs. Like, as I was meditating, my eyes would be closed, and I wasn't thinking about anything necessarily, but I would see like blobs floating around. It was crazy. I would see these blobs floating around, and I thought, oh, something's going on. Right? Something's weird. And something just told me, I knew that I was supposed to start inquiring to different people about what this may be. Okay. So then I started asking people, and they started saying, oh, well, maybe those are, I really got confirmation that it was like my spirit guides giving me a push, a nudge, let's just say. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. What was happening? I felt like the lotus flower, which I love. You know, the lotus flower just kind of opening up, right? And it was really cool. And then one day, I got the distinct message. I heard something. It wasn't like a physical voice I heard, but I felt something, and it said, okay, Lori, here's the deal. You need to either develop your gifts or turn it off. You decide. Develop or turn it off. And I decided, you know what? I need to develop my gifts. I knew that I needed to do it, right? I had no idea what I was doing. I had nobody to turn to. I had nobody to ask questions to right at the beginning. I had nobody to ask questions to. So what did I do? I picked up John Edward had a book. He had written a book, and to be honest, I forget the name of it right now, but he had a book. And so I was like super excited. One of his earlier books that taught about how when he started having things going on with him, right? So how he developed his spiritual gifts. So how cool is that, right? So I got a little bit of information there. Then I found this other book, and I started reading it, and then I started talking to people. Turns out I have a neighbor who is a medium. Who knew, right? So yeah, so that was really kind of cool. So at any rate, so along those lines, things started happening. I started developing, and I started learning. And then I took a class. I took a class from a really great girl who I haven't talked to in a long time. And it was like a 6 or 8 week class, and she covered everything. I felt so good when I got out of that class, right? When I got finished with that class, I felt like I'd really had a good start, right? And then I started realizing, and fast forward to now, I started realizing that, you know, a lot of people have stuff going on, weird things happening to them, and they don't have anywhere to turn. And hence the show that I'm doing. I started talking to people, and I just want to help you guys. If you have questions about what's going on with you, I'm more than happy to help you through it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, by the way, I want to say something. In the course of, as I was developing my spiritual gifts, my grandmothers, plural, both of my grandmothers, have come to me, and they are spirit guides for me. Okay, and the cool thing is they usually come in together. I think that's so cool, and here's why. I want to explain this. This is amazing. Both grandmothers had psychic or intuitive or mediumship things going on in their lives when they were alive, and it was so taboo that they did not ever tell a soul about what was going on, okay, with them. So because of that, I took it on. That's really why I took this on, to help you guys develop your gifts, because it should never be tattoo. It should never be taboo, right? It should never be taboo, because it's all about love, and it's about God, and it's about spirit, and it's about love, right? So I'm here for you guys. Okay, I will always be here. If you don't want to call in the show, that's fine. If you can email me, I'm good about that. Or you can contact me via Facebook. Okay. Now, here are some of the questions. Okay. The first question that I get, the most common question that I get, is how can I tell if I'm a psychic or a medium? I feel things. This is what they say. I feel things around me, like certain people, like I'll meet somebody and they'll say, oh, I'm so, and you can just tell that they're sad, or you can tell that they're happy, or you can tell that they're frustrated, or something like that. Well, what is that? Is that psychic? Okay. So here's the question. Here's the answer to that. Yes, that is psychic. That is empathy. Okay? That is true empathy. And empathy is one of the main things that we need to develop as an intuitive or medium. Okay? It's actually a large aspect to developing your spiritual gifts. Okay? I think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. And I may come back to that because it's a large part. Okay? Yeah. So it doesn't mean that you're, it means that you have stuff going on. Okay? When you can feel that. Okay? When you start really getting into developing your gifts, you will understand that a little bit more. You'll understand why you're feeling the sadness. Why when you walk into Walmart that you're bombarded and you're exhausted when you leave. Oh my God, I can't walk into Walmart. I don't know what it is specifically about Walmart. I really don't. Target, not as bad. Grocery stores, it's okay. But, oh my God, there's something about Walmart. When I walk in there, I walk out and I'm depleted, right? There are ways to protect yourself, so it's not like it's, dire. Like you can go to Walmart. It's not like you can't go. But, it's just, I'm just using that as an example, okay? Okay. How do I get started developing my gifts if I think I'm psychic, okay? Okay, so the first thing is meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate. You guys know I love that, right? That's going to be the most important thing that you can do. I come from that train of thought. There are different trains of thought, whereas, I have friends that are natural mediums, where spirits come to them and they're just naturally, and they don't meditate and that sort of thing. However, I believe, and there are different schools of thought. I absolutely get that. Okay, and this is just me. Okay, there are. It's so important to center yourself with meditation and spend time in meditation to recharge your soul. Okay, and to just get the junk out of your head. I'll just say it that way. Meditation does that. It really, really does that. It can get all the junk out of your head. By the way, I forgot to say, if you would like to call in for a reading, or if you have a question of your own, please feel free to call in 818-835-5885. If you'd like to call in, you can. You need to meditate. Meditate is really important. Okay, even if it's only 10 minutes a day. It can be a guided meditation, or it can just be on your own listening to really, really chill music, but you need to get that stuff out of your head, okay, so that you can get rid of the bad stuff so that the good stuff can come in, right? And that's just the start. Now, you also need to sort of research what you're feeling, okay? And this is like, and I'm not going to get too deep into this because it gets to be a long explanation, and I want to keep this surface for right now. Okay, I can get into other things later, or if you have a question, if something jives with you, you can always email me, Laurie@lauriealbert.com. Simple, right? Okay. Okay, so research what you're feeling. What do I mean by that? Okay, do you see apparitions? Okay, that would mean you're a medium. If you see spirits, right? If you see spirits in your mind's eye, that would mean you're a medium as well. If you close your eyes and you feel like you can see somebody standing there and you can see what they look like, where they are, what they're doing, that sort of thing, that would mean that you're a medium, okay? Psychic has to do more with feelings and that sort of thing, but a medium is actually seeing spirits or hearing spirits or what do I want to say? Feeling that empathy from a spirit, okay? Now, I am trying to keep this surface, right? At this point, I want to talk about what all the clairs are, okay? Because if you have any of these things that I'm about to list going on, that would be something to research on your own. Okay, so let's start with clairvoyance. Okay, what is clairvoyance? Clairvoyance is in your mind's eye when you see something. When you close your eyes, if you see something, if you see, like I say, a person or a thing or an angel, or if you just see a light, oh, that's amazing. I love seeing light, because that to me means it's a spirit guide. So I love that, right? So, oh, I don't want to lose this. Sorry, I don't want to lose my mic so you guys can't hear me. So yeah, I love seeing the lights. That means spirit guides. Love that. So at any rate, so that is clairvoyance. Okay, clairsentience. Clairsentience is basically extreme empathy. Now that can be psychic or medium. Okay, that can be psychic or medium. Okay, you can have extreme empathy, like when you meet somebody and you just know how sad they are, or a lot of times clairsentience. And I'm a clairsentient. I'm actually very, very aware of what other people are feeling around me. I have always been that way. Always, always, always. From little tiny kid. Yeah. And I can always tell when something's going on. Okay. So it's the empathy to the extreme. So, oh, I feel so bad for you. This is like beyond that. This is like, oh my God, I feel what you're feeling kind of thing, right? So that's what that is, right? So that's clairsentience. Clairgustance, that is actually tasting. I love, this is one of my fun stories. Long time ago, years ago, I was in a circle, a development circle, and we were all, reading and stuff. And all of a sudden, in my mouth, I started tasting chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh, they tasted so good. And I was drooling, right? Chocolate chip cookies. It was grandma, I forget who it was, but I tasted it, right? So it was a grandma of somebody, if I can remember correctly. It was amazing. It was so cool. It was such a neat experience, because that doesn't come through a lot. I don't have that happen a whole lot, so that was kind of cool. The next one is clairaudience. Clairaudience is hearing things. See, and this is where we get into the kind of the zone of, so hearing voices? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say it. Hearing voices. You're not crazy necessarily. You might be crazy, but not necessarily. A great example of this, this is such a fun story too, and I think I've told this before, but I was at I do spirit nights where a lot of people get together and I give readings to everybody in the room. So much fun, right? And I was at this couple's house, and we were in the living room. There was not a sound going on, right? Nothing going on. And all of a sudden, I'm getting ready to give a reading, and I'm connecting, and I hear a bird, like, not just like a bird, like outside bird. I mean a bird like it's right next to me, chirping and making noise. And I'm just like, what? And that was truly my first experience with clairaudience, because I heard this and I was like, what? And all of a sudden it dawned on me, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys. And of course I'm ready to, because I'm so open about all this stuff. I'm like, you guys, this has never happened before. I hear a bird. And then I started giving this reading, and this lady was like, oh my God, I can take all of that. That's my whatever it was, like her brother, I think it was, in spirit. That I don't know, I could be making that up, I don't really know, but I feel like it was her brother or something like that. It was like amazing. It was so cool. Oh my God, that was so much fun. So okay, so that's clairaudience. So claircognizance, this is a tricky one as well. Claircognizance is knowing, okay? So knowing, if you're taking notes on this, this is a good one, right? So claircognizance is like knowing stuff. And for me, that's been developing more and more lately. And to be honest with you, it's not in the greatest way, because I've been sort of taken aback by some of the things that I know. And yeah, I don't want to get too much into that story because it's not great. However, knowing stuff is an important It's an important clair. Claircognizance is actually quite important. So you just know stuff. You can know that the phone is going to ring, right? I know that Kathy's going to call me, and you just know, right? And all of a sudden the phone rings. I have friends that know when we're going to have an earthquake. And I'm always like, put me on speed dial because I need to know. Yeah, wouldn't it be great to have that? Another friend does natural disasters. She knows when she predicted the tsunami, that huge tsunami. She predicted all of this stuff. And I'm talking about only with a couple days notice. And of course, who do you tell? You don't really tell anybody. Like, they'll think you're crazy. But you just know. And to those of us that believe, I'm going to get into the whole believing in possibilities, right, in a few minutes. But if you're into that and you know somebody that's like that, speed dial, call me, let me know what's going on, right? So it's really cool. And then clairalience. Clairalience is smelling. And I have a fun story about that too. A dear friend of mine, her name is Patty. She passed away years ago. And we used to have a joke between us because I'm kind of allergic to most perfumes, okay? Yeah, there's something that manufacturers put in perfumes that just messes with me altogether. Instant headache, the whole thing. And so we would all get together, because I have a group of girls where we all get together, and I would go pick her up because she lived by me, and she would get in the car and I'd be like, Patty, seriously, oh my God, I love you, but you're, So yeah, so at any rate, she passes away, and it was tragic and it was bad, right? And I don't even know how long it was afterwards, but I have an office, and I'm alone in this office, right? I'm sitting at my desk, going about my day. I'm alone in my office. It's very, very small area, and I happen to be there at a really early hour in the morning, right? And there was nobody else in the office, okay? And all of a sudden, I start smelling her perfume. And I knew it was her, obviously. I knew it was her. And I sort of cried with joy. And I was like, oh my God, it's you. How are you? Oh my God, you're okay on the other side. And it was so great. It was so beautiful, and it was such a nice experience, you know. And I have smelled things. I've smelled chocolate chip cookies as well. I have a thing about cookies, I guess. But I've smelled cookies. I've smelled turkey, you know, in readings and stuff like that. So, and it's basically what, these are the tools, all these clairs that I'm talking about are the tools that Spirit gives us to help us get across their messages, whether it's from Spirit or whether it's a psychic reading, okay? Those are just all the tools. That's what psychics and intuitives, mediums use. It's our toolbox, okay? So that's what that is, okay? So now, if any of those clairs that I just mentioned to you sound familiar to you, then research it. Okay, that is the easiest way. You can text me, call me, whatever, and we can talk about this together. Okay, so yeah, so think that through. Okay, now, okay, so I want to talk about. Okay, so one of the next questions is, I'm going to go it this way. Okay, so the next question is, and this is a verbatim question. I hear things in my house sometimes. Is that psychic? Well, yes and no, not really. That means that Spirit is visiting you, most likely, I think, right? However, that does mean that you are open to whatever Spirit has to talk to you about, okay? So basically, wow, I just got a huge burst of energy. That was pretty darn amazing. Did you guys see that? Did you see anything? I can't wait to watch that back, because something just, I don't know if you guys saw that, but something just really went through me like a, whoa. Anyway, whew, that was crazy. Sorry, I really didn't mean to do that, but yeah, I just had a really burst of energy. That was crazy. So at any rate, where was I? Oh, okay, so, yeah, so Spirit, when they move stuff in your house or whatever, that's just Spirit coming through to give you a visit. It's a Spirit visiting you, which is good because you're open, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're psychic or a medium. okay? You have to kind of research that a little bit, okay? Research it, meditate on it, right? So, all right. Okay, so then another question, this actually isn't a question, but this is sort of a thing that I want to talk about, is your gut instinct. And I've talked about this before on other shows. And have you ever felt like you just know that you're not supposed to do something? And this, unfortunately, has gotten me into a lot of trouble in the past. Like, I just know I'm not supposed to do something. Like, I'm not supposed to go to this event. This has happened to me on more than one occasion. And as time goes by, I listen to Spirit more and more, because I know that my gut instinct is never wrong. And I need for you to say that out loud. My gut instinct is never wrong. Right. So your gut instinct is never wrong. Keep that in your head. Have that be a mantra, right? Because it will never lead you astray, okay? I have had on more than one occasion, you know what? I'm going to go change my earrings, or I'm going to go change that. You know what? Oh, maybe I'll just wait for a few minutes. Maybe I'll just sit and talk with my husband for a little bit. Gut instinct, right? Sure enough, I missed that accident, or whatever. You know, you missed the accident, or you're late, which is great for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm making that up, right? So yeah, so your gut instinct is huge, 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 okay? And that is actually, your gut instinct is actually clairsentience. That's your empathy. That is your, like I say, clairsentience, okay? So, now, I'm going to give you another set of things that I just want you to sort of consider, okay? I want to tell you about all the chakras. I'm going to go through this really fast. It's just interesting information to know, and it's interesting information to know, and you can either take notes, or you can just listen and go back. If something hits you that you find interesting, write it down, or just remember it for later, okay? I want to talk about the chakras. Why do I want to talk about the chakras? Because the chakras are the energy centers of our body, and there are 7 major ones, okay? And whenever you hear somebody talking about chakras, that's what they're talking about, the energy centers of the body, okay? Now, each of the chakras means something, and like I say, I'm not going to get into it, okay? The root chakra is at the base of the spine, okay? And that has to do with grounding, okay? And then just above there, right around here in your lower abdomen, is your sacral chakra, which has to do with your passion for life, right? And just your passion about who you are in the world, okay? It can be sexual passion too. It's all of the above, passion for whatever's going on, right? Then right above there, right about here, is your solar plexus. And that is your gut instinct. And that is the clairsentience, okay? I work really, really, really hard. When you're working psychically, well, actually, and mediumship wise too, I work really hard on strengthening my solar plexus. Okay, so that's your gut instinct. Okay, then next, obviously, is, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but next is your heart chakra. Okay, and that's just right here, and that's really kind of like the why. I like to say it this way. That's kind of like the why as to why would I want to develop my gifts. Why? That's actually, if I say nothing else and you get nothing else out of this, that would be the one question, and nobody can answer it for you. Okay? And if you can answer that question to wanting to be of service to people, then you're on the right direction. You're going in the right direction. Okay? So that's really, really important. Okay. So anyway, so that's your heart. Next is your throat chakra. And throat chakra it has to do with like living your truth and speaking your truth, being your truth. We used to have this development circle, and there was a lady in there. She never said much, right? And so we would be giving readings and stuff, and she never said much, but she would cough a lot. And I knew, and we used to really talk to her and say, look, you're coughing because you're not speaking up. Spirit wants you to speak up. and live your truth and be this medium that we know you are. But she would cough and cough. She wasn't speaking her truth. So really cool. Oh, I have so many stories. But anyway, so the next one is clairvoyance. I'm sorry, is your third eye, right between your brows, and that's clairvoyance. Okay, and that is seeing. Okay, and that is, when you close your eyes, it's your mind's eye. What do you see in your mind's eye? Do you see blobs, like I used to? Do you see people? Do you see light? Do you see colors? What do you see? Okay. Again, if you have any questions about that, you can always contact me and I'll walk you through this. Okay. Just trying to give an overview. Okay. And then lastly on that part is your crown chakra, and that's just above the top of your head. Okay. Your crown chakra is about receiving spirit energy. Okay. Receiving energy from spirit. And that's, like I always want to say, oh, that's my favorite chakra. That's my favorite chakra. And, but the reality is they're all really important. But I always imagine when I'm opening up my chakras, I always imagine the lotus on top of my head, a lotus flower, and just opening up, right? And the energy just coming down into the lotus flower. I love that. Love that, right? So that's kind of cool. All right, so I want to talk for a minute about meditation. I'm talking a little bit faster because there's 2 more points I want to make and then we're done with the show. So, okay, meditation. How do you start to meditate? Why do you meditate? What do you want to, why is it important? Okay. Meditation is, you guys know I harp on it all the time. It's about relaxing your mind. It's about getting the junk out. It's about getting rid of the stress that's in your head. Not the stress in your body, which you can. Meditation does get rid of the stress in your body, but getting rid of the stress in your mind and your soul. Okay? All right. One of the things, this is a real quickie, and I'm not going to do a meditation. I'll start that back up again. Maybe not next week because Cheryl will be here, but I'll start that back up and soon. You can. It's really easy, and this is a really easy thing. Okay, find a mantra for yourself. Not the Gayatri mantra. Okay, it doesn't have to be a big long thing, right? A mantra doesn't have to be a big deal. A mantra can just be. It can be. Thank you. You could just say thank you. Thank you. Because when you find something, it can be I love you. It can be anything, right? And you just say it over and over again, because what this does is it refocuses you. If you just say it over and over again, it refocuses you. Okay? So you close your eyes, you get yourself in a comfortable spot, in hopefully what would love to be a silent area, a silent place, your quiet place, right? And you just say this mantra over and over again. I use something that's called Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian, I don't know if it's a prayer necessarily, but it's a Hawaiian mantra, I guess. Okay, and this is awesome because it like covers the whole gamut of everything. Okay, and basically what you say is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And if you think about all of those phrases, all 4 of those, that is actually probably the most I want to say nurturing yet cleansing mantra that you can do, because you're saying I'm sorry for anything and everything. And you can say I'm sorry for things I'm not even sure I'm sorry for. I'm just sorry, right? Please forgive me. You're asking God, Spirit, Universe, whatever you want to call it, for forgiveness, right? And then you want to say thank you to the universe. Thank you so much to the universe for all of the wonderful things in my life and everything, right? And then you say, I love you. What couldn't be better? That's like the best mantra. I love it, right? So at any rate, okay, so just try to do that. Find your mantra, right? For 10 minutes a day. It's not that bad. It's not that hard. 10 minutes a day, okay? And you'll see where life will take you, right? That's an excellent way to start developing your gifts, okay? Now, the last thing I want to say before I sign off here is the point of me telling you all of this stuff, okay, is that we need to, and I shouldn't say we need to, because that's kind of, we have to do this, we have to do that. It's not really that way. What it is if you want to start developing your gifts, one of the things that is so important is to really learn how to have an open mind, and open your mind and open yourself up to consider that possibly there are things that you just don't know, that you can't explain, and being that way, getting yourself into the state of acceptance that there are things you don't know, that's when the world starts opening up for you spiritually. Okay? So just the act of opening yourself up is huge. Okay? And like I said before, the other thing I said and this, if you got one other thing from today, it's the idea of opening yourself up to the possibility that there are lots of things that we can't see, hear, or feel. Okay? There's a lot of stuff out there, right? So I am going to leave you all with that. I got everything in. There was only one other little thing I wanted to say, but I'm going to just let it go because it feels complete to me. It feels so good. You all, I just thank you, and I love you all so much. Thank you for all the beautiful messages that I get from you all. I'm so sorry that the chat thing isn't working, and you know, it's a beautiful, I'm going to figure it out. I will. I love you all, and I wish everybody just a fantastic evening and a fantastic week. And next week will be Cheryl Murphy will be with me. You do not want to miss her. She is an incredible psychic medium, and she's just awesome, right? So tune in next week, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a great week, and everybody stay happy. Take care.
Thank you for watching Spiritually Speaking with Lori Albert.